So students, today's class I'll start with the concept of abstract classes. Okay. So what is first of all an abstract class is? Directly I'll give you the definition and I will explain with the program also. Then I'll explain the theory part over here. The abstract class is nothing but a class which is declared with the keyword abstract and it will have an abstract method. I'm repeating again. An abstract class is a class which will be declared with the keyword abstract. Okay, like you can see the program which I have copied. The next program, what you can see over here, I have already copied in my notepad, in my computer. See, you can see a class over here from line number 2 to line number 8. This is an abstract class. Why it is an abstract class? As I said, it should be declared with the abstract keyword. You can see over here. Then after that, the abstract class will have a method which will be declared with the keyword abstract like this. Means what you mean by this one is it will not have definition. Okay, these are the two things by which we can say that a class is an abstract class. That is, it should be declared with the keyword abstract and it should have a method without definition and with the keyword abstract. And one more point to remember is an abstract class can have concrete method also. What do you mean by concrete method? The method who is having the definition. Like you can see from line number 5 till line number 7. This is a method call me to. So it is defined here. Means something is written inside it. That is, it is displaying that the system.out.println. That is, this is a concrete method. Some code is there. So this is a method with the definition, and it is known as concrete method. Okay, but the most important thing is how a class is abstract means it should have a keyword abstract and it should have a method with the abstract keyword. That is, it should not define anything, only it should be declared like this. Okay, now you see here the points from here till here. There are situations you can see in which you will want to define a superclass that declares the structure of a given abstraction without providing a complete implementation of every method. Okay, like you can see in this one, the last class we have seen, I have explained this program. This is a superclass figure. Okay, this is a child class rectangle. Okay, base subclass. So you can see there is a method area inside the superclass, and there is again a method area in subclass. So over here there is no complete implementation. Okay, some code is there, but it is not defining anything. Okay, but its implementation or its definition is completely written. That is, area of class figure is completely defined in the class rectangle like that. Okay, so you can see that is, you will in some situations like you will want to define a superclass that declares the structure of a given abstraction without providing complete implementation of every method. That is sometimes you will want to create a superclass that only defines a generalized form that will be shared by all of its classes, leaving it to each subclass to fill in the details. Okay, like means the complete definition will be written in the method of subclass. So such class determines the nature of the methods that the subclasses must implement. Okay, so here you can see the example program. Like you can see in this particular program, the first program, superclass is class A. Why it is a superclass? Because at line number 9, it is extending A. Okay, and there's an abstract method in class A that is call me. So its definition is written in the child class like that. Okay, so this is an abstract class or abstract concept we can say. That is the method which is abstract in class A. Its definition is implemented in its child class. Okay, now you can see few more points related to this. One way this situation can occur is when superclass is unable to create a meaningful implementation for a method, like we have seen the last program before this abstract class concept. That is, in that what was happening, that in this case with the class figure which is used in preceding example, the definition of area is simply a placeholder. Means for simply the definition is there, but nothing actually it is there. Like in this program, there is no formula in this class figure area method. Actual thing with the formula, it is in here, rectangles area. That is, it is returning the formula, that is length into breadth, that is dimension 1 into dimension. I hope you all have understood this point. So it will not compute in the parent class, but it will be computed in the child class. Okay, this is enough for you to mention what is abstract class. Now this part is the explanation of the program. The second program, I will explain that. You can write in your own words also. Please concentrate. If you understand, no, you can write it easily. Now, before going with the second program, see here, as I said, that is at from here, the line number 2 to line number 9, it is an abstract class. Inside that abstract class, there is an abstract method. So here you can see abstract methods syntax, the general form of abstract method. You can see this at line number 3 it is. Okay, abstract keyword, the type here in the program type is void, no returning, and name is, you can see here, the name over here it is call me, parameter list is empty over here. So this is the generalized form. I hope you all have understood this, the syntax. Now we will see the execution of the program. Just a minute. Yeah. See what is the class name, abstract file name, abstract demo only I have saved with. First, I'll compile this. It is compiled now. Now run the program. See. Now students, from here, you see the execution at line number 16. Just a second. At line number 16, there is an object B to the class B, small b, that is an object of class B. B dot call me is calling this method. Okay. This is the output for this method call. Understood? Then B dot call me to, you can see there is no call me to over here in class B, but it is available in class A. So as you can see, class B is extending A. Okay. So call me to is a method which will be available to class B also. I hope you all have understood this. So the main thing is what to remember. Abstract classes, what is an abstract class and what is an abstract method. And one more point to remember, students, every time remember, any method which is abstract in super class, no, it should be defined in the child class like that, like this. Okay. Okay, students, this is done with the basic program. This is finished, and similar to this, there is an advanced program. If you have understood this, the next one is easy for you to understand. I will show that program now. You all see here, same concept, but with other names. You can see over here in the textbook, which I'm showing over here with the notepad, I'm comparing it. You all please try to observe. Here you see, this is an abstract class. Similar to this is an abstract class. Okay. And this is an area. Okay. Abstract method. Here, this is the abstract method. Apart from that, it is a constructor. Okay. That is the extra things for this class figure. But similarity, I'm showing you how to understand by comparing these two things. This is a class figure. This is class A. And this is a abstract method area. This is abstract method call me here. Then I'm scrolling down now. It is already available. The next class, here you can see class rectangle. You compare this one with class B. As class B is extending A, here class rectangle is extending figure, similar to that only. Okay, and you can see this is a area method which is defined from the method which is abstract in superclass. See here, defined here in the child class. Here also, this abstract method is defined here. Okay, then apart from that, in the textbook there is an extra class triangle also. Same thing, but with different formula. Okay, I hope you all have understood this. Okay. Now rest of the thing is same thing with the dynamic method dispatch. Okay, as I explained in the last class. I'll execute this. What is the name? Abstract areas. I've already copied this one also. Abstract areas is here. Okay. I'm not explaining this program. This is same with similar to the dynamic method dispatch only. But slight difference is there. Here we have a complete abstract method. So execute this program. What is the name of the file? Abstract areas .java. Compiled. Now run this program. Okay. Students, see here. So in the last class, some of you may have a doubt. In the last program, that is last class program, you all observe. I'm scrolling up now. You all see here. In this is a dynamic method dispatch. This is not an abstract program. In this one, there is a method area in the superclass which is defined, but it is not completely defined. There is no complete definition. Its complete definition is here in the area method of child class or subclass. But the advanced concept is abstract class. Means suppose if a parent class like this is not having the correct definition, what to do? Only declare it, write abstract. Correct definition, write in child class. So this is the concept. What you have to do? You have to declare abstract and define it here. So this is a complete, or should I say, the advanced concept after dynamic method dispatch. Okay, so the students see here, one or 2 points I want to mention over here. How to understand this concept is you have to understand this concept, method overriding. I have explained already in the last class. Method overriding. Method overriding is nothing but the method which is available in superclass will also be available in child class. That is method overriding. Then after that, the next concept is dynamic method dispatch. So if you have understood dynamic method dispatch, this is a dynamic method dispatch concept only, runtime polymorphism. It's what over here, there is one method in class superclass. Another method is there, but it is having, that is the child class method is having the complete definition. Okay, so this is related to method overriding under dynamic method dispatch. Dynamic method dispatch means this concept, this one. This is the concept of dynamic method dispatch. This is the reference. You have to assign it. You have to assign here. You have to assign here. Different outputs it will give at this lines. Okay, that I'm not explaining. But remember, after dynamic method dispatch, the advanced thing, the concept, what you can understand is abstract class. After that only means over here similar same thing only, but just as the method which is not having the correct definition will be declared as abstract, and its correct definition will be written in child class. The rest of the thing is same thing with that one. Okay then. Now students, after this, and one more thing is, see, there is an use of super keyword also. I have explained already this. Okay, please revise the concept of super also. Okay, then next we will see with using final inheritance. Just a second.